Not to worry, Mike Scott Plumbing is there to get you out of that jeopardy and back on track. And they don't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. From septic pumping to lawn irrigation to high-efficiency water heaters. At Mike Scott Plumbing, if water runs through it, we do it. Stop by one of the newly renovated showrooms in Hernando or Wildwood, or call today, 237-2888. That's 237-2888.
Mike Scott.
Ocala Quick Minute News. A United Launch Alliance mission is on its way to the sun. An Atlas V rocket lifted off last night from Cape Canaveral carrying NASA's Solar Orbiter, which will orbit and study the sun. Florida is preparing for the U.S. Census, which begins in mid-March. Leanne Cicino of the Governor's 2020 Complete Count Committee says they are canvassing the streets to make sure that the homeless are included.
We have outreach teams who are already familiar with the areas, and also shelters and shelter locations, food banks and pantries where food is being provided to homeless individuals.
The census is mandated by the U.S. Constitution every decade. Tampa Bay got off to a slow start on the XFL's opening weekend, the Vipers losing on the road to the New York Guardians 23-3. Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have partial sunshine throughout the day today with a high 81 to 84. Tonight, turning out to be partly cloudy, mild with a low 65 to 67 with patchy fog toward morning. Then tomorrow, patchy fog will continue into the morning. Otherwise, we will see partial sunshine with a Tuesday high 83 to 87. At night, clouds increase, low 65 to 69. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
And good morning. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA Ocala, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, and streaming live YouTube, WOCA The Radio, WOCA The Source Radio. And we got Galen on. Good morning, Galen. There we go. Now I push the button. Morning, Galen. All right, buddy. All right.
Are we on the air?
We are now on the air.
Hey, good morning, Adam. How are you?
Not too bad, brother. Not too bad. Not too bad. I was just saying off air, you sound pretty well rested. Must have been a good weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I did take felt terrible yesterday. I don't know if it's this constant change of weather or something's blooming, but I didn't feel great yesterday, so I slept for like 4 hours apparently.
Ooh.
It was one of those where I woke up, I made breakfast for the family, and my wife said, I was sitting there, I finished eating. I said, I'm going back to bed. And 5 minutes later, she says I was snoring. So
wow.
I just can't breathe. My allergies are killing me.
Yeah. And I think you nailed
What are
it.
you gonna do?
I think you nailed it with the temperature change. That's what's, I mean, it's nice that we have some cooler weather, less humidity and stuff, but man, when you think about what we do with the 80s and then a few days later we're back to a highs in the mid-60s and the lows are getting in the 30s. I mean, it's such a huge roller coaster of temperatures. It kind of gets to you unless you're in some kind of rhythm and groove where you can get used to it. I can't seem to either. I think you kind of nailed it with that. Not to mention too.
Oh, it's going to be what, 80 today?
Yeah, 80
be in the
today.
80s today. I mean,
and then it's tomorrow, and then of course they're calling then Thursday for more of a chance for a frontal bound to come through and bring us some more rain and then cool off through the weekend. But yeah, and then you throw in some of that pollen that's all over my car. Woo, buddy.
that's brutal right now.
It is.
Brutal.
So anybody who's got allergies out there, I feel your pain. Although I don't have them, or I don't get them as severe. My dad gets them pretty bad, where he's got to take that stuff, and I'm so glad I don't. But just enough, it's like you still got to get rest. And I'm glad you did, man.
Sure.
Yeah, because you sound fresh today.
Well, I'm trying. Yeah, allergy. The pollen count is really high. So
Yeah.
We'll see.
Now,
We'll see. It just needs to rain. If it rains a lot in March, then it's not bad. It's
not
when
bad.
you go like 2 or 3 weeks without rain in March that you're going to be like, oh my gosh,
Yep.
I'm not going to make it.
Yep.
So.
Did you catch any sports this weekend after you woke up from that good nap?
I watched the Busch Clash.
Yeah.
The NASCAR Busch Clash. That's always entertaining. I always enjoy watching Daytona. And this year, yesterday we're watching it, and, there was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years in a row where, I did a live remote broadcast from the Daytona 500. And my wife's like, so are you going this year? I said, no. She goes, oh. I'm like, why? Did you want to go? She goes, no, but I figured you'd go and be out of the house. I was like, great. So no, I'm not going this year. Because it was always, believe it or not, I always struggled to find somebody who wanted to go with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's when I go, I have to get there really early, I do the broadcast 2 hours before the race, and it can turn into a 10-hour day pretty quickly. So
Yeah, that's true.
don't have a lot of luck going. And then every year I don't goes, oh man, I would have gone with you. I'm like, sure you would have.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. So.
Mm-hmm. Now, I knew somebody who did go, and I think everybody had along that same mentality you did. Maybe can't find somebody to go, and hell, I'll watch it on TV. They were
so good on TV.
Yeah. It's
when you're there, and even from my vantage point, I can go into the media area and watch it on TV. And then in the media tent, you can hear the radios and stuff like that. But, on TV, they just give you such a better, you just see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That track is so massive
right.
that if you're standing at one spot, you can't see the backstretch. It's impossible to see the whole track from really anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I always enjoy. As somebody who's never been to the track, you stand at the start-finish line and you stare down into turn one. And you're like, that's a wall. That's not something you can drive on. That's a wall. So yeah, that's always the coolest thing.
You think that's kind of we've always said that about other sports, like for example, like NFL football games, like they're getting so pricey and it's hard for a family to go and watch. But with just how the HD Ultra 4K stuff is, it's almost better to watch it at home. Is that really hurting the sport, you think, for NASCAR?
Oh yeah.
Because
I mean NASCAR. The thing about NASCAR is it's usually in your area once a year. There are some exceptions. They go to Talladega twice. They go to Daytona twice. There's a couple of tracks they go to twice. But they only go to Vegas once. They only go to California once. They only go to Bristol once. So, all of those kinds of things, when it's the only chance you're going to go and get to see your favorite driver in person once,
mm-hmm.
Then you're more likely to go. And the same I think is true for NASCAR. If you're only going to go once, if like golf is different because I think it's actually better
mm-hmm.
in person.
Yeah.
You can watch your guy, or you can watch one hole and watch how everybody approaches it differently.
Right.
But there are very few sports now that are better in person. I still think baseball is better in person.
I do too.
Because it's a much slower pace. Basketball is really good in person. Hockey is phenomenal in person. So there are still some events that are better in person.
Yeah.
But football, because of the way the field is so long,
mm-hmm.
And from your vantage point, you don't even get to see much. It's just a better experience in person.
The thing is too with the NASCAR, from what I was reading, this is a while ago, but a lot of the smaller tracks they don't come to anymore aren't like you mentioned with Daytona. It's huge, and that's where a lot of these events are now, is with these larger tracks. So it's hard in person to feel how it used to back in the day with smaller circuits. Like being able to...
but I think it's I think all these things are cyclical. I think a lot of those, like Darlington, they quit going to because it just couldn't keep up. It was still stuck in the past, and they just couldn't financially make it a modern day track where you're going to have the suites, you're going to have things built in for the media. And they just could not keep up. The parking at Darlington was terrible.
Yeah.
So all of those things, even if you look at Daytona, it took Daytona, 10 years to modernize their facility.
Right.
It was a 10-year construction.
It was a long time.
And they have events there almost every weekend.
Yeah.
Whether it's the super bikes or bike weeks there, or they just had the Rolex 24 was at Sebring. It's coming to Daytona soon. I can't remember. No, they already had it.
Yeah.
They already had the 24 hours at Daytona. That's
Yeah.
right. That was 2 weekends ago. So, they have massive events. So it's just expensive. It's expensive to run. And then you go to a place like Circuit of Americas, where I went in November, and it's just state of the art everywhere. And, when they're running an event that is a really high class, Formula One is the richest sport, probably in the world. I don't know what a sport, maybe polo or something. But
That's a shirt. That's a shirt.
Everywhere you go. No, I'm not kidding. I mean, Formula One these people jet set all over the world to watch these races, and
that's true.
They sit in a club seat, and they're expecting certain amenities.
Amenities, yep.
And that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
So.
Well, while I got you, partner, this segment's sponsored by Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, Palm Garden of Ocala. Our great friends there. We have a opportunity to give them a shout because they've been proudly serving our community since 1987, delivering enhanced clinical services, initiative therapy, compassionate health care, and of course, Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated, serving Marion County for over 30-plus years. Every bit of their success is to their unrivaled customer service, full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solution for your flooring needs. That's Penn Flooring, 351-3420. Well, excellent, Galen. We'll let you do what you want to do there, buddy, to get up to work. And how is the blood supply before we go?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking. We're still in emergency need of everything. Usage is still way up. We just need people to get out there, give the blood, and donate blood. Today we're going to be at the Bellevue Public Library.
Okay.
So go down there and get a book, and then go on the Bloodmobile, read a book, and donate blood. So please, just give the gift of life, donate blood.
Awesome. Well, appreciate it, partner. You have a good rest of the day. We look forward to talking to you tomorrow.
All right. Hey, appreciate it, Adam. Have a great one.
You too, buddy. All righty. We're going to take a short little break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Matt Bellis, Liberty Health Share. We'll go from there. You're listening to 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, WOCA, The Source.